we get absolutely screwed over when it comes to award ceremonies within the video game industry. It's journalists and industry insiders that actually get a say as to what gets nominated and really what wins. And when it comes to ones outside of our sphere, like the Grammys, for example, video games tend to get screwed over that are good, and movie slop wins. And right now, we are seeing a major backlash on social media surrounding the Grammys because they have snubbed Claire Obscure Expedition 33, and they're getting annihilated for it. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, when it comes to the Game Awards, it is already a tough battle for gamers. Typically, things that are newer get the nominations, and titles that release towards the beginning of the year get snubbed because it's like these journalists forget that they exist. They think that people are going to also forget about them, and that if a game doesn't push the political propaganda they prefer, they can easily look past it. Over the past couple of years, games like Black Myth Wukong and Hogwarts Legacy have gotten snubbed at that show, and look at the Grammys. It has always been bad, though this year it is phenomenally hilarious to see because we are not letting this slide anymore. Tons of Disney-based games like Avatar and Star Wars are getting nominations, yet Claire Obscure Expedition 33, a title that in my opinion is in the Game of the Decade running, is being completely overlooked. And yeah, gamers are not staying silent, which is phenomenal to see. So this article says games nominated in the video game category this year include Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, the DLC, Helldivers 2, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Star Wars Outlaws DLC, and Sword of the Sea. Now, don't get me wrong, I know that there's a lot of people that love Helldivers 2. I know there's quite a few people that loved Indiana Jones, though I personally don't think that DLC should be in the running, especially when last year Avatar Frontiers of Pandora was actually nominated, the base game was, and the base Star Wars Outlaws title was as well. So we're talking about like double nominations here basically, and I played Avatar, wasn't a great game. Indiana Jones was pretty decent. Star Wars Outlaws wasn't that good. Though, putting aside the gameplay for a minute, because we are talking about the music here, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 sweeps all of these easily. Stellar Blade soundtrack not being here is a crime. Death Stranding 2 soundtrack not being here is a crime. Even Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 soundtrack not being here is a crime. I am so sick and tired of seeing this happen, and what the problem primarily is that there's no gamers that are part of this team. There's nobody who actually plays video games. It's very clear to see what they did. Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora is Disney. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is Disney. Star Wars Outlaws is Disney. So they basically just said, what are the major games that Disney's released this year? We know. Here is the list. And that is such a slap in the face to freaking gamers. I'm so sick and tired of seeing this happen, and clearly I'm not alone given the response to this on social media, because boy, oh boy, is it looking bad for the Grammys. Here's just one of the many posts, and people are saying things like, this is actually diabolical, WTF. I'm not surprised at all. The Grammys has different ways to evaluate OSTs. A few years ago, the Assassin's Creed Mirage OST was nominated instead of Final Fantasy 16. Yeah, I did a previous video on this where I really talked heavily about the previous nominations and winners, and it is just absolutely wild to see how out of touch these people really are. In 2025, you had Star Wars Outlaws, Marvel Spider-Man 2, God of War Ragnarok Valhalla, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, and the winner was Wizardry Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord. And hey, listen, Wizardry is great. I love Wizardry. But for a soundtrack over something like Black Myth Wukong, that is wild to me. Also, ignoring Stellar Blade's existence, wild. The year before, the winner was Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Ah, yes, my fellow movie gamers. We have to make Star Wars win. And the year before that was Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Dawn of Ragnarok. And I think that this is so funny because they claim that the dates are from August to August. So this year would be August 2024 to August 2025. That hasn't been the case for several years. So apparently now this is like a new rule, because look at some of the dates on these games, right? You're nominating something like Guardians of the Galaxy in 2023 when it came out in 2021. Aliens Fireteam Elite 2023, but that came out in 2021. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So I don't know, I guess perhaps they changed it this year. Either way, it's not a good look. Claire Obscure not getting nominated and winning Best Soundtrack should be the clearest sign that these awards are absolutely meaningless. And I always say this, award shows are meaningless. At this point, yes, it is always nice to see your favorite product get a little bit of recognition, win a few awards, but it's not like these developers truly need it. And we already know that their games are absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, it's always nice to see your favorite team get patted on the back for their work, but they don't need these award ceremonies. And I hope that these developers actually speak up. I hope that the Claire Obscure team makes a statement saying, oh, we're really disappointed that this happened, because maybe something like that could actually wake up these absolute losers that are part of these events. And I think that they're definitely feeling the burn. Not including Claire Obscure Expedition 33 soundtrack is simply ridiculous. There were no games like this in ages when you stopped playing because you had chills on your back because of the soundtrack. It shows that the experts are totally disconnected from reality. Was it not eligible or submitted? Because not being included in this category is insane. Asmongold also said, why is Expedition 33 not in the running? No one gives a fuck about any of these games. The only one that should be on this list is Helldivers. Fire whichever pathetic retard put this together. They have no idea what they're doing. Expedition 33 not being nominated tells me that the Grammys nominates best score for video games based on how much like a movie the game sounded. E33 doesn't sound like a traditional movie, so it won't get recognized for its brilliance. E33 respects the medium. The award does not. Again, I think that Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is one of the best games I have ever played, hands down, and it deserves so much praise. It deserves so much recognition, and it does suck to see this happen, but we all know in our hearts how amazing this title really is, and we don't need these absolutely pathetic losers to tell us what deserves to win awards or not, and it is crazy to see this happening, but I am glad that so many people are speaking up and saying how lame this actually is. And I'm very curious to see what's going to happen at Jeff Keighley's Game Awards in about a month, because while I think that Expedition 33 is going to get nominated for GOTY, I don't think it's going to win. I think they're going to give it to something like Death Stranding 2, which would break my heart, but only time will tell, though for now that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.